Going, hey, how you going? It's Jai, that Aussie metal guy here with Crannk, and today I'm having a chat with Mitch Sigge, vocalist for Priorities, and guitarist Dean Martin. Pleased to meet you guys. Thanks for making some time to have a chat with me.
Yeah, well, good,
Thank
man.
you.
Thanks for having us.
Cool, man. Crack a day, dude. It's beautiful sunshine in there, Dean. We got you in your lunch break, man. Cheers for making the time to have a chat, dude. Extra thank you. Cheers, man.
No, that's all good. I'm just making sure I'm getting extra crispy being a ranger. So
Yeah, no, my stepson's a ranger too, dude. You got to be careful. You don't want to get burnt, man. It's probably just about much.
yeah, I think 5 minutes a day is just about my quota.
Yeah, it's about the same for him as well. Cool, man. Priorities, if I believe, man. He's been getting a fair bit of airplay and a fair bit of raps, man, for the debut single, man, which is really, really cool to see. I'm loving the track. First off, man, how would you describe your sound, man? Because you've got that hardcore vibes, but you've also got some real strong, metalcore vibes, some metal vibes, and it's good because it's a debut single. You've got to do what you want at the moment, and world's your oyster.
Yeah, well, we've actually put this question to ourselves a few times, like, oh, who do we sound like, especially when it came to writing the band bio and all that sort of stuff. We couldn't really pin anything because there was a lot of different elements there. We've been told a little bit of like a Ghost Inside sort of style, but no, we kind of we got into a room and we just played what we wanted to play, the sound that we wanted to get out. We weren't going any specific direction. We didn't want to write something straight up metal, but we wanted breakdowns and all that sort of stuff. And it's just really just what came out. It's what felt easy and quite fluent, really. Dean's pretty much the mastermind behind writing most of the music, so it's a lot of the influence comes from him.
Yeah. Well, I've got you, Dean. Can you tell me a little bit about, working this track and, kind of that process as well?
Well, basically, the song came about from just a really basic idea from me, and then everybody else sort of just jumped on it and put what they wanted to hear throughout the song. So really it's a collective of all of us, and all of our influences and styles are sort of poured into it, which is sort of how we're continuing to write as well. So we just have a really basic sort of structure of a song, and then we all come in and have a go at it and work on it and go, oh no, this should go here, that should go there, or maybe we need something like this here. And sometimes it gets completely transformed and sounds nothing like the original from the start.
Yep. So can you tell me a little bit about the formation of Priorities? How did this begin, man? And who started the ball rolling on all of this?
Oh,
Was that'd be Mitch.
That's a long story short it was me and one other mate of mine that just wanted to jam in a room. He's no longer like in the band. It was kind of just us just messing around, and then we got Alan involved, we got Dean involved, and I was originally a guitarist and we didn't have a vocalist. And then it was just mates that wanted to get together and play some music. So we're all good friends in that retrospect, in the sense of like none of us we didn't get anybody into the band that was just like, oh, we're getting someone in to try out or anything like that. It was someone we knew that could play drums and someone we knew played guitar that we were already close friends with. So it worked out really easily forming the band together after some trial and error with some mates that just didn't have the time and all that sort of stuff, and came to be the five of us in the end. And like myself and Alan have played in a band together before recently. Dean and Liam played in a band together for a couple of years there, and Dean and Jesse have always messed around with writing tunes together as well. So we're all quite good friends for well and truly 5+ years.
Yep. How did you originally get into guitar, Dean?
Well, I learned guitar. I got taught as an 11-year-old for about a year, and then I didn't play again till I was about 15. Well, when I moved out to Australia, I went to a festival, and it was actually Queenscliff Festival. And that sort of sparks my inspiration to pick up the guitar again, and I haven't put it down since.
Yep. Why did you put it down at 11? Did you pick it up and go, I can't shred straight away, so I'm just going to put this down? Or
No, well, to be totally honest, where I lived in the UK, I had a group of friends that if they'd had found out I played guitar, I I wouldn't be in the friendship circle anymore. So I sort of had to keep it under wraps, and then I just stopped playing.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's silly schoolyard sort of stuff. But yeah, when I came out over to Australia, I found it was a bit more open-minded, I guess.
Yeah.
So I wasn't too scared to pick it up and tell everyone, yeah, I'm into metal.
Yeah, cool. And what were you playing back then, when like 15, when you were getting back into it all?
What was it? A bit of Carnival, lots of Rush, which are one of my favourite bands, which sounds nothing like what we play now, but yeah, mostly Carnival and Rush, and just bit of metal just here and there. A lot of Parkway Drive, actually. That was sort of building blocks on how I play now.
Yep. Mitch, can I ask how you got into vocals and singing, mate?
Honestly, with the vocals, like I said, I was originally the guitarist in the band, and it was kind of just like, we couldn't really find a vocalist, but we could get an extra guitarist in. Maybe I'll just fill in for the moment. And it just ended up sticking. And I was like, I'll just learn on the job. It's okay. Like, I've listened to metal. I've gone to shows. I practice screaming in the car, not knowing what I'm doing or anything like that. And yeah, it just ended up sticking. And then I just stayed in the position of being the vocalist, and I worked on vocal techniques and, watched videos. There's a massive one that I sort of got around, I can't remember the name of it now. But it's this older, opera style teacher. She's taught Caleb from Beartooth and all these different sort of styles of screaming, how not to hurt your voice, and different exercises and all that sort of stuff. So I've always sort of been into the technical aspect of it. Not to say that I'm still working on it. It's only probably been 3 years that I've been actually really trying at it. But yeah, I'm doing what I can. But yeah, it was, to answer your question, it was just no one else was there to do it, really. So I kind of just fell into it. So when did you start playing guitar then? So I've got to ask, man, how long had you been playing guitar up until this point? I started playing when I was 14. So, and back then, back in those days, I was a massive sort of into indie sort of music. I guess in the sense, the Killers. I was a massive Wolf Mother fan, and I would play a lot of that, and that slowly progressed into, your Metallica and, sort of classic metal bands. But what sort of progressed into playing hardcore and, more metalcore and all that was an old friend of mine, and still a good friend to this day. His older brother grew up with Martin Kirby from Carpathian.
Oh, yeah.
So I actually got to meet him a few times, and we'd be jamming out, and he'd stick his head in and see what's going on. And he gave me his CD when Nothing to Lose first came out in 2006 or something like that. I think it was 2007. And yeah, that was really the takeoff point to learning how to play more hardcore. And then, as Dean said, same for me was Parkway Drive and Amity and all those sorts of bands. I've been going to local shows for years and just always wanted to play that sort of music. So that was the building blocks for me on guitar playing. I still play to this day. I still help the boys out here and there, but Dean and Jesse are much better guitarists than I am. And it's kind of here and there, I'll go, oh, maybe this bit will work. And yeah, so do the best.
It'd make it good for song composition. I actually chat to Brad for the Wolves Brisbane band yesterday, and I chatted to Stephen Gibb as well. And I've chatted to a lot of vocalists. Look, 80% of the vocalists I've chatted to are usually a guitarist or a bass player or even drummers, and they've come into the position of vocals somewhat with, a lot of reservation as well, and picked it up with such a plum. It must be good as well, coming in from that position as a musician for song composition as well, and working these tracks as well, coming in from a musician and not purely as a vocalist.
Yeah, well, I've been playing in bands myself since I think I started my first band when I was maybe on the urge of 16 or something like that. And I played guitar in 2 or 3 other bands before all this. So getting up on stage and playing guitar and all that sort of stuff has always been a really fun thing to do. And writing's always been, comes pretty naturally. But when it comes to this sort of style that we're doing now, I'm trying to focus so much on doing the lyrics that I let the boys just take the reins and write the music, and I'll stick my head in and give my opinion on stuff like that. But the writing process with a lot of our stuff, it goes really smoothly, because even though we've all got all these different influences, we kind of just bounce off each other really well. So and makes that life a bit easier. And it always helps that, I play guitar a little bit, so I'm not just sitting there going, what's going on? And
Yeah.
no.
So Dean, can I ask when you started initially working on this track, man, like guitar-wise and everything?
Oh, this has been in the works for how long do you reckon, Mitch? Nearly 2 years?
No, probably not. I would say 18 months is probably when the band started, and we, started building from there. It was a lot of just scratch tracks on your computer, and then building it from there.
I've got literally about 2 albums worth of music on my computer that I've just sort of written riffs here and there and full songs, and that are just sort of waiting to be worked on, which is kind of hard in the current climate in Melbourne. You know, we're not able to even catch up or practice or rehearse together. So the music writing's taken a bit of a slump lately, but it's all there. And with If I Believe, we've been playing that for quite a while, and we finally decided to sort of get down to it, record what we've got so far, and get it out into the world and see how it goes.
Yeah, well, when did you record this song?
It actually wasn't recorded too far back from when we released it. I think we probably had the full mix and master of it maybe for a month before we released it. We've been going and seeing Nathan Sanderson, that did all our recordings with us, for a while. We'd sort of just do it at his house. Like, he's got this home studio set up, and everything was just recorded there. And
it was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it works really well. And for the fact that, like, Nathan's been a good friend of myself and Alan and Dean and Liam and just about everybody in the band for so long, and just he was a drummer in another band that we all used to play like gigs together with. So we've known Nathan for a long time. So it made working with him really easy.
It just so happened the track sounds so damn good. So it's been a blessing.
Yeah, well, it's a killer track, and as soon as I heard it, I was blown away. I was like, dude, I'm looking forward to hearing some more from Priorities as we go forward. And it must be really tough in this climate as well. You've got this killer track, If I Believe, that's getting this airplay all over the place, and it's generating this buzz, which is really exciting, which is probably really getting that fire lit in your belly to go, let's get in there and, put some more music down. But due to restrictions, your hands are tied.
Yeah, it does make it hard. We did have, If I Believed wasn't actually going to be the original track that we were going to drop. We had another one there ready to go, and we were in the works with one of Alan's mates, Anthony. He's worked with the company that has helped do the music videos for like Polaris and all that sort of stuff, and he was going to come in and help us do our first proper live music video and get all that running. But then obviously the restrictions hit, but we do love that song quite a lot, and we didn't want to not do the music video for it. So that's where If I Believe was also recorded at the time, and we've gone, all right, well, we need to release something. How about we release the other one instead? We'll put a lyric video. I'm sure that maybe at some point we'll go and do a proper recorded music video for it. But not at this point in time. We're sort of working on the way, hopefully these restrictions ease up enough that we can actually get into a room together again and keep practicing and keep recording the rest of the EP. Because like Dean said, we've pretty much got it all there. We just need to go see Nathan and get it all down. So it's making it hard.
Yeah, it must make it really, really tough, to, go, where do we go from here? It's like, hence talking to musicians like yourself, I've been trying to chat to as many musicians like you guys, especially the Melbourne scene, because you've got this great music and you can't play live as well. So, it's...
Yeah. We had a gig lined up too. We had a gig, I think it was supposed to be in April or May or something like that at Stay Gold. It was just a battle of the bands. It was like our first gig and all that. And then the restrictions hit, and they're like, oh, we've postponed it. And we haven't heard anything from them since about it coming back. But obviously no one really knows what's going on, so it makes it hard.
Yeah, so it does make it kind of hard to go kind of what's next and plan anything, because the plan at the moment is you don't even know where we're going after this. So
Yeah.
No, we don't. And like we say, we can't even catch up with each other and write stuff at home.
Yeah.
And we all live further than the current 5Ks. So, but still, like, we'd be breaking laws to try and catch up and write music together anyway.
Exactly. Where's the best place people can get along and support you guys while this time's going on? Priorities. I know you've got a Facebook page.
We've got a Facebook, we've got an Instagram, we've got a Twitter that has only sort of recently been up, so there's not a whole lot of activity going on there. Honestly, it's probably the first time I've even touched Twitter. I don't have a personal account, so
none of us use it.
That doesn't get as much love as it probably should. But yeah, look, we're on most of the socials and all that sort of stuff. We tend to post every now and again just what's happening with us. But like you said, like, because we don't really know what's happening and we can't even go and see each other, like, it just feels like we're recycling old photos and stuff like that on Instagram. And it is making life hard, but we're doing the best we can with it.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, I'm going to sign out, guys, and let Dean get about his work day, man. This has been an absolute pleasure. I want to have another chat with you guys because I know you've got a ton of material coming out. So down the road, it'd be cool if we could have another chat for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Cheers. Last words, shout outs and thank yous, though, before I do sign out, man.
For me personally, shout out to Collision Course, probably the best one. Pricey and the boys from there, and Ophelia have done a lot for us, who's getting these interviews and getting our names out there. So big thank you to those guys, and just like anybody that supported us really, and just keeps playing the songs. We're always seeing the streams go up, so it's always good to see that we're still getting out there and we're still a little bit relevant. So that's always nice.
That's it. Well, I'd say the same. Thanks to all our promoters who have done the hard work and pushed our stuff out there, and thanks to the people that are actually clicking on the links and giving the track a listen. I mean, that's the main thing in music is having people listening to it.
Yeah, it's a banger track, and everyone, I can't recommend this track if I believed enough, man. Get along, go over the priorities page, show them some love, get this track out there, share it, turn it up loud, and as I always say, the neighbours are going to want to hear it as well. So cheers, guys. Thank you very much for your time.
Take it easy, mate. Thanks.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.